days ago, I had a sudden urge to listen to one of my favorite artists, Eminem. What can I say? I'm a Michigan kid, and occasionally I feel a sudden need to indulge in some Slim Shady. So I plugged in my earbuds and popped on some of the music I had downloaded on my phone. I jammed him for a while, when all of a sudden I realized there were some songs off of Marshall Mathers 2 that I really wanted to listen to. And unfortunately for me, however, I didn't have that album on my phone. So I went on Spotify to listen to them, and it wasn't until then that I finally saw Eminem had released a brand new track only a few days before. Call it fate or something else, but it turned out to be the perfect tipping point for me to make an analysis on. His new song, Campaign Speech, is a 7-minute and 47-second long epic. If you haven't yet heard the song, I not only recommend it for this video to give it context, but I also recommend it in general. When I first heard the song, I wasn't sure if it was a masterpiece or a 7-minute exercise in insanity, albeit one with extremely well-done bars. So, what's the verdict on Campaign Speech? Psychosis or beauty? Of course, the answer is not that simple, or this video would be pretty short, so let's get cracking. To go through every single theme in one single video would be nearly impossible for me, so I'll be focusing less on the actual lyrical meaning and more how it works in structure and how this song fits within Eminem's discography as a whole. To start things off, many parts of the song are up to interpretation, but here's my initial take. This song is a culmination. A culmination of a career based on inciting anger and rage in people. Not based on only the content being offensive, but also the fact that it was extremely well done. Lyrics, production, flow, and imagery, Eminem has had a great history based on the concept of using an insane amount of talent against people.
Taken up the entertainment world and more than a few parents since he first burst onto the music scene.
With the F this and the SH bomb that.
Oh, I don't do any of that.
You don't do it? You
No.
You keep it clean?
Keep it clean.
Give a message to the rappers out there who are dropping that kind of language and tell them, like, you don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it. Watch your mouths.
A huge portion of what causes rage towards Slim Shady, whether people realize it or not, stems from the fact that instead of using his undisputable skill for something like traditionally listenable music, such as Lose Yourself, much of the time, through his character, he instead decides to use his talent for evil, making songs about graphic violence, drug use, and approximately 1,000 other offensive things. This song is a culmination of all that. That's why Campaign Speech can be a migraine and a masterpiece. Each stanza feels completely disconnected from the next. In a staccato fashion, the storm of words is almost constant from the first nanosecond of the song. Eminem carries a brash, almost violent voice throughout the whole thing, and the beat, if it would even be considered anything different than an accompanying set of strings and meaty synths, is irregular and varying in length, style, and usage. All these things create a strong sense of confusion and unease with the listener, lending itself to the overarching anguish that they'll undoubtedly feel when first hearing the song. The paradox of Campaign Speech comes from the clash between the extremely uncomfortable nuances and what happens when the listener gets more in tune with the speed of the song. These points include Eminem's insanely well-done lyrics, even with the lack of context, the sheer speed, the rhyme scheme, syllable structure, and how exceptionally clever some of the longer stanzas actually are. In tandem with one another, the paradoxes within the heart of the song are the source of why at first listen, most people will be extremely conflicted. Campaign Speech brings a few examples to mind. Books and movies such as Lolita and American Psycho are exercises in mind-numbing insanity as much as they are in quality and grace. Their pages are filled with beautiful descriptive terms, but the way that they go about exercising plot and narrative is infuriating, downright aggressive. Eminem does this exact concept in Campaign Speech, and he executes it perfectly. For me, the tipping point that led me to this conclusion was the final line of the song. Why am I such a dick? To me, this line is funny, but it also carries a huge amount of weight in a short period of time. It not only translates to an acknowledgement of exactly what Eminem is doing in this song, but it's also in the present tense, implying that he's like this in his core and always has been. He's displaying the fact that he has the ability to produce something with a mind-numbing 7-minute and 47-second price tag. A long commitment from a creative standpoint that makes any listener get enraged at the way he's decided to expel his talent. So, why? Why do people like Eminem decide that instead of focusing on serious things that they want to pursue insane exercises with the commitment that most people don't assign to their own serious work? Why? Because they can, and you can't.